second issue that I would like to talk about, so youth unemployment is one. The second one is women's participation in the labor force. Not because I'm a woman, but actually I do think it's a big deal for the region. It has the lowest, again, participation rate in the world of 26% women. It grows at around 0.71 percentage points every year, extremely low. Even South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa are higher rates of that. What is the issue with that? The issue is that women in the region have actually picked up so much on other indicators. So fertility rates have gone down. If you look at enrollment rates between men and women, it's around 0.96, very close. Women tend to go into higher education a lot more than men do. But the problem is this has not translated into the labor force. If you were to run sort of a regression analysis and see if people were to maintain that educational aspect, what would be the effect of women on the labor force? If you get women into the labor force with that education level, household income in the Middle East would increase by 25%. So that's a big deal. Simply because if you think about women, right now every man has to service a household which is made up of more than one or two people because his wife doesn't work. So there's a reduction, if this woman goes into the labor force, of the dependency ratio. The third thing that I'd like to talk about is trade integration. And by trade integration and in general economic integration, the Middle East is not integrated to the rest of the world. It's a limited globalization. So even more important is within the region, you find 10% of the exports of the region are intra-regional, 16% of the exports, 16% of the imports are intra-regional. So there's very little movement. It's very thin trade, thick borders in the region. Which is a big problem. And you can look at economic integrations in so many ways. The fourth thing that I want to talk about is diversification of the economies. Clearly, in so many parts of the world, you're still, particularly the GCC, although there's a bit of a reduction in the oil GDP, you're still finding it hard to move away from that sector. In other economies, you're not moving towards the value-added, industries. You can think even of agriculture, agribusiness going in, tourism, much more things into that sort. So these are the main challenges within, but I think, obviously the outcomes are very different.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I want to pick on the women one, which I think is absolutely...
Pick on the women.
Absolutely. The woman point. This is absolutely right, and absolutely the right thing. And, I'm a big advocate of that. I'm a member of the Arab International Women Forum, which talks about women empowerment. At PepsiCo, we have proved there is a business case. When you employ, in our line of products, women are our consumers. These are the ones that they go and buy. So you can imagine us sitting around trying to launch a product, 5 or 6 men sitting around the table trying to design what the package should be for that woman. And then we come up with a package that's not friendly for that woman, and we wonder why. So, one of the biggest issues actually, to Mona's point, is why women do not come into the labor force, although they have the education or that. I think there is a role for the private sector to play, and as we have a role to do that. Actually, the working environment is not friendly for women. Okay, in what sense? There is a work-life balance. I mean, the woman in the Arab world is expected to be a working woman and also expected to take care of home. How can we enable them to do that? Can we make policies actually that allow us to work a day or two, from home, given the technology that we have? Do we allow them to come late at work at 10 and serve, till 6 rather than come at 8 and leave at 4? So give her time with her children and give her time to prepare for home. So I think there is a role for the private sector, Mona, to play, and the private sector is an enabler to women's employment. But we really have to change the policies around, how we make that environment friendly for women to work. And we have started, and I'm very proud to tell you that at PepsiCo in the Middle East, 30% of our managers are women.
Managers, excellent.